Hi and welcome to Teliax, and today we're going to do a complete walkthrough and tutorial of using the Ivy platform for resellers. So if you're a partner, a Teliax partner, and you're reselling service to your customers, this is going to be the video to watch so you can learn exactly how to manage and run the Ivy platform as a partner. So when you first log in, you're going to see the dashboard, and we're going to be adding stuff to this over time. But right now, it's just a screen here that tells you what's going on. The first tab is for account, and you can go to your web settings. So the first thing you're going to want to do is set up a DNS name. And this is going to be the domain that your customers log into to manage their account, that you can log into. Once they log in using that host name and domain name, they're going to see your branding. So it's important to do that. Plus, that's where the phones are going to register to, or the PBXs. That's where they're going to be pointed to for their registration. Now, you're going to go to your name server account, usually at some place like GoDaddy, and set up a host name. And the host name needs to be pointed to 63.211.239.108. Again, this is all explained in the partner Quick Start Guide. If you don't have that, it's available on our website or in help.teliax.com, or just ask one of us and we'll send it over to you. The domain style sheet allows you to modify the site to your liking. You can set up basic colors for the background and the nav bar. You can do advanced attributes to change more of the colors. You can use completely custom CES, and if you know how to do CES, you can really do some cool stuff with this. And back to here. If you have an image hosted somewhere, you can put that in and it will put that up when you log in. Actually, we can just go see that real quick. I'll copy that. So you can see I just put a little graphic up here. I changed the colors a little bit. You can see kind of how it's different. So that was a real basic example, but you can do quite a bit with it. Now, the uploaded content, this index.html, this allows you to modify that home page when someone logs in. So you can change the title, some of the text, the CSS for it, add other features, so you can really make it embed within your site, and so it looks like your existing site. So using the web settings really allows you to customize the look and feel of the Ivy platform for your customers. Then you also have users and settings, and you can set up different users that are either administrators or just regular users, so that you can allow people to do different things. You can create a new user, select an option, administrator or user, make that person active or not. Under the billing, we don't have anything under the billing yet for partners. This will be coming in an upcoming release. So watch for these things to become active in the near future. Okay, once you've set up your branding, you're going to want to set up a price deck. So normally there'll just be new price deck here, and I can kind of show you how I've set up a retail price deck. You have the cost. This is the cost that we're charging. This is our cost to provide these services. You choose how much you want to mark these up as part of a plan, or if they want to buy them individually, what are those a la carte pricing. And you have different plans as well as just the price deck itself to work with. So you can really create a number of different packages. Now on the markup, this is where people often leave a lot of money on the table. You're going to want to mark stuff up at a reasonable price. If you just go, well, standard markup on stuff should be 20 to 30%, you are going to be well below the industry average, and you're going to be leaving a lot of money on the table. Typically, you're going to be wanting to be somewhere around 100 to 200% markup. That's going to allow a nice profit margin. That way you're going to make some money, we're going to make some money, because we split the difference or we split the markup with you. So you decide how much money we're both going to make. So we don't want you to really undercut the entire market out there. We want you to price things at a reasonable level so that we both make money on this. So once you have your prices set up, you have your plans set up, you're going to finalize them, and we're going to have to approve those plans just to make sure that you didn't do anything or break anything weird, but it usually just takes one business day and we'll get those going. But if you're not putting together plans and you're just running through a regular price deck, you can be selling service within 10 minutes. So that's kind of the price decks there. So you can get a list of all your customers. Here's the name, account number, whether they're active or not, whether international is enabled or not, which price deck they're using, their current balance, standing, credit mode, and actions. Well, standing is going to show you where they're currently standing in terms of payment. It'll say positive, it'll say negative, it may tell you that it's pending shut off. So you'll get a status of what their current standing is based on their balance. If they go negative, they may initially get 30 minutes to pay up or get shut off. Well, that's the normal routine. If they pay, everything goes back to normal, everything's fine. Once in a while, somebody needs more than 30 minutes. Maybe they need a few hours, or they need a day in order to make a payment because they've got to move money around, something. So what you can do as a partner is turn on credit mode. And what credit mode does is it continues to allow them to build up negative balance without shutting them off for 24 hours. Then at any point you can turn that back off. In this case, I've turned it off, and you cannot re-enable credit mode for 72 hours. So that just prevents someone from going in here constantly and giving someone credit and letting them ring up huge negative balances. The next item is edit, so I can edit that customer, and support login. So I can log in as that customer and set up their account. So we'll go ahead and do that, and we can show you some of the basics of getting set up as a customer. And now I'm logged in as the customer. You can see the options have changed up here. They have users and settings that they can create. Their billing, they can make payment, add a credit card, so you can take care of all this for them. Manage their rates, which plan they're on. They can see which plan they're on. They can't change it. If you have different add-on packages, they can choose from those things. Normally, you're just going to add a site. And the site is typically a single geographic location. So maybe you have a company that has 2 offices. It's usually best to set up each office as its own site because of 911. 911 is attached to a site. So if you have people who always work from home, you might want to set them up as their own site so that if they dialed 911, the information would be there for their house or one of the other offices. If you group everybody into one site, then you might have issues with 911. Now, if we're creating a new site, we want to mark it active. The default caller ID name, we'll call it Alien Software. Default caller ID number, we don't know that yet because we haven't ordered any phone numbers. DNS extension, you see that it's voice.t2id.com. That was the DNS that we set up for that partner. So now we can call this one alien.voice.t2id.com so that you can keep those separate. The thin client, these are ways that we're deploying the RTP nodes for best service. Right now, you just want to stick with Denver. In the future, we're actually going to offer small thin clients that can be located at a customer premise to keep that voice from having to go up and down over the internet. You can upload default music on hold. And here the access control list. So by default, nothing is allowed. That's probably going to be a problem if anyone wants to actually register to this system. You're probably going to want to put in at least a single IP address for where that site is, their public IP address, so it knows how to get to it. So often, I'll just go over to Google. What is my IP? Google search. There's an IP address there. That's telling me my public IP address. I'll go back over here, put that in here, and we do a /32, which denotes a single IP address. If you're going to an IP address range, then you'll want the correct setup there. Channel limit, that's how many concurrent calls can come across. Now it's going to be dependent on how you're selling this or what you're offering. And it depends. You usually want about one channel for every 4 or 5 users. So we've got a 10, 12 person company, we'll just go with 4 channels. Now, what zones are we going to allow? This is, again, part of the security to keep bad things from happening. So if they're only going to call United States, I'll just put in United States. If they're going to call other places, other countries, you can certainly put those in as well. And we have pretty much everything in here that you could expect or ever want to be calling. So you can just scroll through, find the different countries that you want them to be able to call. Talk to the customer, find out what they need so that they can modify that properly. So we'll go ahead and enter that. So now we have this site, and now we can start adding features. Now I'm not going to go into adding all these different features because it's explained in the customer tutorial that is linked here in the video. It's also in the description, and again, it's also in the website. There's a quick start guide for customers. But what I wanted to show was the partner side login, what features are available on the partner side, and basically how to get a customer started and then start adding features. So if you want to learn about all these different features, then watch the customer tutorial and learn how all this stuff also comes together. So thanks for watching, and we will catch you later. Bye-bye.